Hey guys, welcome to class today on Tuesday. Today we're just going to continue our discussion on the demand curve and the shifts in demand, whether it's an increase or a decrease, and or if it's a movement on the curve. So all these scenarios that we're going to talk about today relate to demand. Tomorrow we'll talk about supply, and next week we'll end up putting them together. But right now we're just kind of looking at consumers and what they would do if the price goes up or down, or of different products if the price goes up or down. So I'm going to run you through some different scenarios here in a little bit. So a reminder from yesterday, this says, does the demand curve shift or is it a movement? So the shifters are tires. So hopefully you have those written down somewhere. So you have, if it's a shifter, then it's going to shift the demand curve either to the right if it's an increase or to the left if it's a decrease. And then the shifters are taste, like advertisement or being popular. I is income, if your wages change. R is related goods, like complements and substitutes. And E is expectations. And S is number of consumers, so size. And then if it's just the price of the product at that time, then it's a movement on the curve, and then you wouldn't have to shift it. So I'm going to run through some different headlines because that's eventually what we want you to be able to do. We want you to be able to look at the newspaper or see a scenario in the real world. And yeah, who reads the newspaper anymore? Look, when you look at articles online or see headlines like that, we want you to be able to know if it's demand or supply and what's happening to price and quantity. So here's the students' wages are cut during a recession. What will happen in the market for AirPods? Well, if you have less money, then you're probably going to have less money to spend on AirPods. So it'll be a decrease in demand, a shift to the left. And then if we ask which shifter would it be out of tires, that would be income. The next headline here is AHS students advertise a cure for cancer campaign at the Tornado basketball game. What will happen in the market for basketball tickets? So think about that for yourself. Would demand increase or decrease, or will it be a movement on the curve? Well, it's talking about advertising, so that would be taste, so that would be T. And so if it's one of those words, then we have to shift the entire curve. And so if it would be an increase, we would shift it to the right and draw a whole new curve on there, going from D1 to D2. The next one, it says the AHS Decamart increases the price of the chocolate chip cookies. That's something we all might miss right now. What will happen in the market for AHS chocolate chip cookies? So if it's just the price of the product at that time, then that's just a movement on the curve. So there is no shift for that one. It'd be like if the price was at one point and then it went up. If the price goes up, then we can see that quantity demanded goes down. So you guys probably already know that intuitively, but that's what it looks like on the graph. So as the price goes up here, then the quantity demanded goes down. And it's no shift because it's the price of the product. The next headline says the price of Anoka hoodies will increase next month. What will happen in the market for Anoka hoodies? So here we deal with price again, but then the word that's in bold is next month. So if I look at my list of tires right now, then I would see that expectations is like thinking that the price might change in the future, and that is a shifter. So if it says like next month or next week or next year, it's talking about like right now, what would you do? So if you know they're going to go up in price next month, what would you do this month, like today? And so you would probably buy more of them before that price goes up. So that would be an increase in demand and a shift to the right. This scenario says students buy Anoka stocking caps and gloves together. If the price of stocking caps goes up, what will happen in the market for gloves? So when I go and buy Anoka stocking cap at the Decamart, I also buy gloves, and the price is higher for the stocking caps, so I buy less caps. So then I also buy less gloves because they're complements; they go together. So the demand would decrease for the gloves. At lunchtime, the price of taco in a bag has increased. What happens in the market for the spicy chicken sandwich? So now the price has gone up for the taco in a bag. So now more people will probably get in line for the spicy chicken sandwich. And so that would be a substitute. So if it's a substitute or a related good, then it would shift the demand curve. And if the price of tacos goes up, then I'm going to buy the spicy chicken instead. And that would be an increase in demand for the spicy chicken sandwich. Again, the word price is in there, but the markets of spicy chicken sandwiches, so it's a different product. So to just be a movement, it has to be the price of that product. But if we're talking about something else, then it would shift the curve. Mr. Farley decides to limit the number of incoming ninth graders. What will happen to the market for ninth grade PE classes? So if you look at that, there's nothing about price on there. If I look at tires, it's looking more at size. So there's less students that'll be at Anoka High School. So then the demand would decrease for the PE classes. The price of getting into the AHS versus Andover football game decreases. What happens in the market for the football tickets? So now we're talking about price of the product, and we're talking about the football ticket. So it's just saying that price went down. It's not saying anything shifted. It's just talking about the price of the product. So we can show that on our graph. So originally price might have been kind of high right here, and then we go down to P2 where the price is lower. And if that happens, all of a sudden more people can afford it. So now more people can go to the game. So that would be an increase in quantity demanded because of a decrease in the price. So that's just a review of demand and the shifters of demand. You are going to do an activity here, this Google form activity. And when you see it, we do this in class, but we've always done on paper. So this is a Google form one. There's nothing you need to do on this first page here. So just click next. And then there's really nothing on this page either. This would be if we were doing it in class. So now we can get to the actual thing here. It says, here's where you're going to read a demand headline and you're going to decide which graph is appropriate and which shifter it is. So you might want to have your notebook open and just have that open so that you know tires and what they all are, and then the graphs for it too. So it says average wages decline for workers around the country. And then it says, what will happen for movie tickets? So it's demand for movie tickets. So if my wages went down, would I be able to buy more movie tickets, less movie tickets? Or are they talking about the price of the product, which would be no shift? Well, for this one, we're talking about wages. So then that's going to be income. And I can't afford as much movie tickets. So I would pick the one that says demand decreases. And then I'll click next. And it says identify the reason for this shift or the reason if there wasn't a shift if you did not do that. And so I think there's two of them on here that do not shift, by the way, little hint. So then you just choose the next one. And we said it was wages, so that's income. So then I would click that button there. Now, if I clicked on taste, let's say I got this, I clicked the wrong one, and I go and I click next. Well, notice it doesn't go anywhere, like it stayed there. It's because it's not the right answer. So it's not going to let you go forward unless you pick the right one. So then if I pick income and scroll down and click next, now it will go to the next headline. So it's kind of cool that no matter what, once you finish this, you'll have them all right. And then you can kind of look at it from there. And then I also created another video with the answer key. If you're like, and I still don't get this in class, I would be going to like each of your desks and helping you with this. So I created an answer key video. It's about 4 minutes, not too long, but explains all of these graphs again, these scenarios. So if you get stuck on any of them or can't figure out why in the world the answer is what it is, I do explain that in the next video after you're done with the activity for today. Thanks, and tomorrow we'll talk about supply and producers. Have a good day.